I became the CEO of this hospital when it was acquired by Columbia Healthcare back in 1995 and was here until about 2003. And prior to that, I spent 6 years as an assistant administrator at the hospital. So I think I can say that in terms of CEOs, I've spent more time with Brenda than anybody else. And probably with the exception of Lori Barber, administratively, more time with Brenda than anybody else. So what I'm about to say, I speak from experience. So you know it's true. And I know you're not going to doubt it anyway, because you know it's true. But I've had an opportunity to work with a lot of assistants over time. All of them were nice, and all of them were competent, but none of them were Brenda.
That's right, that's right.
Not one. And it wasn't because none of them could do shorthand. You know, she has fantastic skills, but it's really more about who Brenda is. And you might say, well, how would I explain that? And maybe this isn't the best way to explain it, but when I thought of Brenda, I thought of the Boy Scout law. And the Boy Scout law goes something like this. There's 12 points, and I'm not going to mention all of them. But Brenda is trustworthy. Nothing that she ever said she was going to do, she didn't do. Brenda's loyal. She's been here 50 years. I know that anything sensitive that we ever discussed, I never heard it from anybody else, because I might have only discussed it with her. Helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, are all trademarks of Brenda Woodie. And I can tell you, working in an administrative suite, not everybody who walks into that office has those same qualities. And you know, sometimes they're legitimately upset, but you know, she always handled it with such poise, 100% of the time. And yeah, and there's like being thrifty. I'm gonna fudge on that one a little bit. She once brought me a price list for a meeting we had up at the homestead, and they had like shrimp that were $3.50, but that was all they had. It wasn't Brenda's fault, so we had. But she gave it to me. It's like so, and we did have shrimp for this important meeting, and yeah, and then like the last one's kind of reverent, and I'm going to tie that back into in the book of Galatians. Apostle Paul talks about the fruit of the Spirit, and it has things like patience and kindness and Virgil. What's the other ones?
Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness.
Yes, goodness. And so really what separates Brenda from anybody I've worked with is her spirit, and I just so greatly appreciate it. I was blessed with the time to work with her, and when I left here to go down to Blacksburg, Virginia, I wanted to take her with me. The only problem was I'd have to take Virgil too. Anyway, so Brenda, I can't think of any. Brenda, I can't think of anybody who's more deserving of this recognition. And love you, and appreciate your being part of my life. So. All right, well, thank you for the opportunity to share. This is a day I wouldn't miss for anything.
Okay, you want to know who I am? Bill Lanehart, and I came here in '93. Brenda has been taking care of me this is the 32nd year. I retired 10 years ago. Brenda is still taking care of me. I could walk in her office, and I was telling a story to Teresa and Shelley. I did a real estate deal. I needed something notarized. She notarized it for me. I couldn't figure out how to get it in the FedEx envelope. She put it all together. All I had to do was walk it to the mail room. So I can't thank you enough for taking care of me. I heard Jim say putting up with us, because we're not as kind and patient. So thank you. Brenda has definitely made my life better. Love you.
I gotta step in here. So my name's Claire Weidman, and I'm a retired orthopedic surgeon. I came here in 1979 to interview, and everybody was still at the old hospital. And so I met Brenda then. The administrator at the time was Royce Harrell. And Pat and I initially thought, gosh, we don't know if we want to leave Cleveland and come down here in the mountains or not. But by the time we left that weekend, we had made the decision. And we came back, and Corey, who I hope most of you know, was 11. Amy was 9. And we were just welcomed into the community and had, I guess, 40 years of the most awesome practice anybody could have. And Brenda was always right there and always so helpful and so loving.
Could I say something? I wanted to say, she opens her mouth with wisdom.
Yes.
And the law of kindness just flows from her tongue. God has blessed you with such a loving spirit. And not only that, Miss Woodie, but the people in this community care for you. Your name is great. And we know that God has blessed you with long life and satisfied you with Mr. Woodie. We are so grateful that we are friends. I am. I met you when Mr. Woodie met my mother, and then along came you. We've been friends for many years. But the Lord will bless you. The Lord keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you. The Lord give you peace. This is my prayer for the one and only A1 from day one. Listen. Amen. And I'm also on the board, and Miss Woodie has guided me along. And thank you.
I'd say I speak for the rest of us in just saying, very simply, we love you.
Yes.
Yes. And I love every one of
Echo
you.
everything everybody else said.
You've really, I don't know how to say the word, I guess you've enhanced my life because, I mean, if you think about it, I spent as much time at work probably as I did at home. I mean, seriously. And, you know, I always consider people that work here my family too. And I do care for each one of you. And, you know, when I wrote in that little thing, I can remember the first time I came here, you know, there was nothing here. I mean, it was just a big field. And, you know, came up here for the groundbreaking ceremony. Got out of the car. There wasn't even a driveway up here, just a path. You know, Royce Harrell, he said, come on, you're going with us to the groundbreaking. And of course, some of the board members were here and some people, legislative people and all that. And but I'll never forget that. I mean, it was just amazing to think that all those years ago, and then, you know, we had this hospital built. And a lot of people don't know, but, you know, they brought the two hospitals together, and that was not an easy job. You know, they had people at both facilities. They had to bring them all together. And, you know, I remember Mr. Harrell used to bring everybody together in the basement of the annex. That's where our office was. And you know, he decided he was going to start a chaplaincy program. He brought all the chaplains in the whole community together, and he said, okay. He said, we're going to come together and we're going to form one chaplaincy program. You know, and he started all that, him and Tim Porter Grady, and I know you all remember, I don't know if anybody's here still remembers him, but he was over nursing. But, you know, it's been a lot of changes through the years, and when I look back to, you know, people that I have worked for, I think there were about 15 altogether, just CEOs and kind of fill-ins, but you know, I've learned a lot, and you know, I'm just thankful for every day.